Hello, this is what I've been listening to so far this year. So throughout January, the beginning of the year, I was really into Aphex Twins. I pretty much listened to all of the Aphex Twin discography. I think I missed a few EPs here and there, but I listened to all the main albums. I'd say of all of them, the one I remember the least is for sure a Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. It's just because it's so long and I only listened to it once, and that was over like 5 listens, so I don't really remember it exactly. From the Aphex Twin discography, the albums that stuck with me the most were for sure Selected Ambient Works Volume 1 and Richard D. James. I just came back to those the most. Saw 1 especially. It really puts me in the zone to get shit done. It is the best like concentration music I've ever heard. And Richard D. James, just because it feels so playful and light and just incredibly enjoyable, and it's very short for an Aphex Twins album, only 30 minutes long, really in and out, and just very whimsical, it would be how I describe it. I enjoyed both of those heavily. In January, I also gave Suicide's self-titled album a listen. I only listened to it once, and I can confidently say not for me. It is very bare bones, very dark and cold. It's electronic, but it's super sparse in its noises. The lyrics and vocals are manic when they are there, and it just makes a very desolate feeling album. It's like Shoo Shoo if you stripped it of all of its production and left only the very basic stuff. And yeah, it's pretty interesting, but not for me. I'd recommend you check it out though. I mainly checked it out because I thought the album cover was awesome. It looks amazing. Just a quick lightning round of some albums I listened to in January as well. I listened to the Kero Bonito album that's on screen. I forgot the full name. It's their second one, I believe, or maybe their third. The most recent one. I listened to both The Ooze and 6 Feet Beneath the Moon by Krule. I listened to Jeff Buckley's main album. I listened to both This Is Happening and The Sound of Silver by LCD Sound System. And I was listening to some of Who Will Cut Our Hair When We're Gone by the Unicorns. Now, on all these albums, I can't necessarily say I have a strong opinion of them. These were mainly first listens. The King Krule albums, I thought they were cool. They were chill. I didn't necessarily love every single moment of them. It was very do I like this song or do I not like this song sort of album. The Kero Bonito album, I thought it was very fun, but I only listened to it once, so I don't necessarily remember it fully. Jeff Buckley album, Grace, that's what it's called. It was good, but I'm gonna be honest, as I got into the second half, I was definitely enjoying it less than the first half. For sure though, Who Will Cut Our Hair When We're Gone by the Unicorns, I heavily enjoyed. Thought it was incredibly playful, fun, pretty emotional, and it's just amazing how every song on there is so dynamic. It just changes so effortlessly, and we never stay in one place for more than like 30 seconds. And I love the album for that. Now in February, and for a lot of the first 2 months of the year, I was listening to Harbor by Tomppabeats. Kind of a lo-fi classic. Most people are aware of it, and even if you haven't listened to it in full, you've probably heard a song from it. It's a collection of like 20, I think, very short, very straight to the point, lo-fi songs, great sampling, fun, relaxing. Listen to it a lot while doing homework or just kind of hanging out. Throughout February, I made my continuous return on trying to listen to Godfather's mixtape by Lil B. I don't think I've ever fully listened to the mixtape because it is ridiculously long. Every few months, I get back into it and try to listen to it in full. I think I got further this time. I think I got like 3/4 of the way through. Lil B's Godfather mixtape is fantastic. The songs I've heard, I love his voice. I honestly love a lot of his lyrics. February Confessions is an amazing song that's incredibly heartfelt, emotional, and just so genuine. The sampling work on here is top tier. The beats are amazing, and they just show Lil B's kind of love for life on every single song. And his mood and his emotion is infectious on that whole mixtape, and I absolutely love it. I got a bit into Snow Strippers, not for very long. I've listened to most of their discography though, but it was only once or twice. I enjoy it. It's very fun. It's upbeat. It's catchy, but there's not much else to say. Nothing really to write home about. They're a cool group, and I enjoy listening to them, but besides that, it's kind of whatever. I re-listened to Die Lit by Playboi Carti, and let me just say, it's a classic, okay? Die Lit is an all-time classic. Any Die Lit slander needs to end. Front to back, Carti's still coherent, but he's also not giving a fuck on half the lyric. The beats are infectious. It's full of energy. It's a fun album, and it never really like dips. The energy is constant throughout Die Lit. Despite it being kind of long, it's like a 15 song album, but I absolutely love it. Die Lit, good album. It's a classic in my opinion. As well, in February, I started returning to Brave Little Abacus. Even when I'm recording this in April, I'm still very much into Brave Little Abacus. I think they're kind of just an amazing band with a flawless discography. I've already reviewed We Just Got Back from Discomfort, We're Alright, or whatever it's called. I think it's an amazing album. I give it a 9 out of 10. I've been listening to that a bit, but mainly I've been listening to Masked Dancers. I like Masked Dancers more than We Just Got Back from Discomfort. I will say, I think We Just Got Back from Discomfort is probably the more sonically consistent and quality consistent album, but the highs on Masked Dancer I think are way higher than We Just Got Back from Discomfort, and that's saying a lot because We Just Got Back from Discomfort has some amazing highs. I think every single song on Masked Dancer just works perfectly. I think the songwriting, just about this theme of like leaving home, not wanting to but knowing you should, and then kind of just the regret that might come with that. The songwriting is top tier, progression of the story and the music is amazing. It has so many great songs, so many long songs that just are beautiful. I love the raw vocals. It's just full of energy and life. And even the tracks that a lot of people don't like on the album, the ones with the Akira samples from the Akira movie, I fully understand why people don't like it. It's literally Akira going like, ah, 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 for like 3 minutes straight. I get why people don't like it, but I feel like it plays into the album so well, and maybe just because I've listened to it so many times, I don't mind it. I think it works well in the album. I wouldn't want it any other way. So yeah, Masked Dancers, absolutely been loving. I've been listening to it so much. In February, I also gave a re-listen to The Glow Part 2, and it has definitely grown on me. I think a lot of the slower, more instrumental based tracks do serve a good purpose. I'm still of the belief that I feel like the outro, it leaves a lot to be desired, and I just think it's a bit disappointing. I get like it's him dying and it's like all the memories, but I do not give a shit. It's really whatever. But I'd say before I give it an 8 out of 10, I'd probably give it a 9 now. It is quite good. In March, I got into an artist that most people have already listened to, an artist that I was very familiar with. It was one of those artists that I knew people in high school that really liked them, but I kind of just never checked out. Part of Odd Future, I'm talking about Earl Sweatshirt. The most I knew about Earl Sweatshirt was mainly just his feature on Super Rich Kids off Orange by Frank Ocean, but I never really checked him out. I obviously heard how amazing some rap songs was, but I never really gave it a listen. And throughout March, I listened to majority of his discography. I didn't listen to Earl. I listened to Doris, I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside, some rap songs, and Solace. So I guess that isn't all his discography, because then there's 2 more albums after that, but I didn't check those out. I checked out the main ones. Right? I'd say of those though that I checked out, my favorite is I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside. Don't get me wrong, I like some rap songs. It's a bit all over the place tonally, and I get that's kind of the point, especially with the sample use, and I don't think it's a bad album at all. But I just love how dark I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside is, and how it constantly just stays there, and sometimes even gets just deeper as we go along. Earl just sounds so hopeless and defeated, which I don't want him to be. It's just kind of how he sounds. But at the same time, it's, I don't know, the mood, how he raps, everything about I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside is just, it draws me in. And I'm infatuated with the album. I think it's fantastic. I think Solace is probably his best work though. It is maybe the most depressing thing I've ever listened to. I don't think anything else really compares to it. Closest is maybe like Giles Corey, but I think Solace is more depressing than Giles Corey. Solace is so deeply personal. It almost ends up a bit hopeful, tiny bit hopeful. Of course, the line, if your soul's intact, let me know. But it's, damn dude, is it fucking heartbreaking. The instrumental sounds like it's dying on Solace, and Earl is talking like he wants to die, or he is dying on Solace as well. And Solace is just a gut-wrenching, hard to listen to song. It's really fucking emotional and hard to listen to. I listen to it a lot though. Maybe that's not good for me, but it's an amazing piece of work, and yeah, I think it's a masterpiece. Throughout March, I also gave few listens to Shed by Title Fight. I definitely like it more than Floral Green. I think just across the board, it's better. In my opinion, that's what Midwest emo is. The more I realize it, the more I think that Midwest emo, for sure, it should sound more like post-hardcore than whatever the fuck American football is doing. Just because that's kind of what the genre's steeped in, but at the same time, who gives a fuck? Anyways, Shed, good album. I enjoyed it. Throughout March and a bit into this month as well, in April, I've been listening to Beauty Sleep by Echo 2K a lot. I might like it more than E, honestly, even though it's a bootleg technically. The sound on Beauty Sleep is just incredibly unique to the album. I haven't really heard it anywhere else. Everything sounds so kind of digital and rough and cold, especially on the Rush songs where it's just like this hard noise. You know, I hope Echo starts rapping more. I hope he starts rapping again. We had that new song recently, TLDR, where he was amazing to hear. Echo's bearing his fucking heart, dude. He's putting it all out there. Everything is just drenched in a coat of like pixelation. I don't know, it sounds like everything's pixelated. That's how I would describe the album sound. It's really, I don't know how else to say it. My favorite song on here is Mirage. Mirage is probably my favorite Echo 2K song. It's just his lyrics, his writing on that is fantastic. The way the song comes in and out, it's so fast, so hard hitting, and I absolutely love Mirage. Throughout March, I also gave a few listens of a few different albums from mccay, I think is how you say it. He's the guy who's known for Take Care or Motorhead Cyclist, I think. He has a lot of different projects. I didn't know he was as popular as he was. I don't use TikTok, I don't have TikTok, but apparently he's very big on TikTok. It is very much slowcore, duster inspired. Not bad, but very samey. I listened to quite a bit of his albums. I listened to all the albums from Take Care. I listened to Motorcycle Head or whatever it's called album. I listened to Boyhood. I think that's it. I think that's all the ones I listened to. I didn't listen to too many. I'd say of those, my favorite is for sure Boyhood, especially the final track on Boyhood. I fuck with that one heavily. That song is fantastic. It's not too complicated. It's not too crazy, and the lyrics especially aren't like the most crazy thing ever, but it's very straightforward, it's very blunt. He's just screaming out, and I love that when vocalists just scream it out, and the quality of the recording being kind of shitty just kind of adds to how his voice sounds, which I love. Some of his stuff, especially like Agony and Boyhood, I don't really feel like are that much of a slowcore album. They feel a lot more like just reverb heavy acoustic sad songs, which is very much I think what Giles Corey is. So I got a lot of familiarity while listening to those to Giles Corey. I gave the Saturation albums by Brockhampton a re-listen during this time. They're good, they're bangers. I mean, each of them are good. Saturation 3 for sure the best in my opinion, has the most notable tracks. Don't forget about Saturation, guys. It was a good run. They're good albums. Give them a re-listen. You'll probably like them. I gave a few listens to Volcanic, Bird Enemy, and The Voice Concerned as well. It sounds very playful and light and upbeat, but a lot of the times the lyrics are about just mental health and depression and shit from Little Ugly Mane. But it's a very enjoyable album. It's quite long, but it never really feels like it overstays its welcome. A lot of songs feel like they have their place. Off the top of my head, I can't really name any songs I specifically loved from the album, but I enjoyed my listens of it. In March, I also gave a lot of listens to Gene Dawson's Chaos Now. It's not like the most crazy album. It's just a very fun album, kind of punk rap rock sort of mix that just is very energetic. When I'm outside and I'm doing shit, I love listening to it because his energy is just, it's always there and I'm always down for it. I love his energy. Every song incredibly catchy and just fun to listen to. I gave Pixel Bath a listen as well, but I for sure liked Chaos Now more. I also gave Uneven Compromise by Lil Ugly Mane a single listen. I remember it very thoroughly though. It is a absolute mind-blowing fucking EP. First half is just hardcore, dirty fucking rap, and it is a banger, but the second half, the story, clear as fucking day. I didn't need no lyrics pulled up to understand what he was talking about. That shit hits hard. Please listen to this. Please listen to Uneven Compromise by Lil Ugly Mane. A mind-blowing album. Or not album, it's technically an EP, but definitely worth the 10 minutes that the song is. The noise collage sort of thing at the end though was a bit unexpected. Another few re-listens I re-listened to the Ghost Pop tape. I still think the album is quite fantastic. I think the mood it carries is just something I can't really hear anywhere else, and I love everything about it. I gave Quebec by Ween a re-listen. Liked it a lot more than I originally remembered. I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. I think I gave it an 8 before. The vocals and just how all over the place it is, but everything feels like it has a point. The outro, if you could save yourself, you'd save us all. One of the best outros of all time. Low diff, no debate. Now, for this month so far, and just kind of a few albums I've been just peeking into throughout the year so far. Let's first talk about Animal Collective. I've been trying to get into Animal Collective for a bit now. I've listened this year so far. I re-listened to Merryweather Post Pavilion. It's not bad, but I feel like there's definitely a decline in quality as the album goes along, and I just find myself enjoying the back half a lot less than the first half. I listened to half of Fields, and I know what you're saying. You only listen to half of it? Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest, maybe a lot of you can relate to this. Sometimes I put an album on, I'm like, okay, I'll listen to this while I do something, and then I gotta go somewhere somewhere, I gotta make dinner or something, and I just never finish the album. Happens a lot. I will say I enjoyed the first half of Feels, but when Animal Collective does slower paced songs, I feel like a lot of times it doesn't work out. I listen to Spirits They're Gone, Spirits They're Vanished, and I will say, not the biggest fan. I've listened to it once in full. Definitely the harsh noise aspect detracts me from the album a bit. There is definitely a very unique way they blend these like beautiful instrumentals, this fucked up harsh noise. But for me, Alvin Rowe is just so much better than every single song in the album. It's like jarring. Alvin Rowe is an amazing song, 12-minute masterpiece. I love everything about Alvin Rowe. I gave Scrapyard a listen by Quadeca that came out this year. I think it's a bit overrated. It is very much a mixtape. It lacks cohesion at all. My main issue is Quadeca's vocals. While I think a lot of the times his signature vocals are these very like kind of fragile and like manic sounding, it's like you right now, right? It's his thing. And I'm not saying that's bad. I think a lot of the songs it works because of how crazy and layered the instrumentation is. But there are some songs on Scrapyard where he just sounds like Miles to me. I can't lie, he sounds a bit goofy on some of these songs, and the quality is a bit all over the place. I think Texas Blue is probably his best song. I've been listening to Texas Blue a lot. I absolutely love that song. I think it's beautiful in every single way. Now, recently, in the past, I don't know, like 20 days or so, the main thing I've been listening to is nerd shit incoming. Evangelion soundtracks. I know, right? Crazy. Recently, of course, I had a video about Evangelion talking about my thoughts, rewatching the original show and the movie. And after that video, I went and rewatched the rebuilds and watched the final rebuild movie. And I also read the manga. And I plan to hopefully make a video, one about the manga and one about just each of the endings and how I feel about them. Basically, I'm obsessed. I love Ava. I've liked Ava since I was in freshman year of high school. I didn't like the show, but I loved the franchise. There's just so much stuff in the franchise that I was drawn toward. Characters, the design, there's just something about it that speaks to me. And now when I feel like I really get the show, it's just even more. I just like it even more. So I've been heavily listening to almost all of the soundtracks for the show and the movies. My favorite, easily the End of Evangelion soundtrack. Fantastic soundtrack. It's one that I actually listen to quite a bit in full because I just think every single song is so powerful. Even if you haven't watched the movie, I think it's still a very good soundtrack, but watching the movie just makes every song more powerful. Of course, Donatos, a banger, somewhat sad, but still a banger. Todd, that shit is for the end of the world as it is in the movie, but it is, yeah, it's a song that I listen to a lot. I don't have much words for it. The track after Todd and the End of Evangelion, that piano piece, amazing as well. I'd say of the main three Evangelion show soundtrack, there's one of Shinji, Rei, and Asuka. My favorite is for sure the third one with Asuka. That soundtrack is made up of songs on the end part, the last third of the show, which is probably the most interesting and a unique part of the show. So it's for sure my favorite. I listened to the whole 3+1 soundtrack as well. So many great songs in there. Hand of Fate, Yearning for Your Love, Voyager, great, right? But the main thing, of course, is One Last Kiss. One Last Kiss is a J-pop. It's just a J-pop song. But listening to it, the context of seeing the final rebuild movie, it just hits. It hits so hard. I absolutely love One Last Kiss. I've listened to it so much. I absolutely love that song. It's so upbeat, but it just has that underlying like bittersweet sort of feeling to it that I just love. Of course, I also have to mention the outtakes of Evangelion soundtrack. Two notable pieces on there is the 9 Years Later mix of Thanatos, where it's the song kind of stretched out to about 8 minutes, and it's much slower and much more stripped back, but I love it. I like it more than the original, honestly. And of course, Everything You've Ever Dreamed, which was the unused song that was also sung by the singer who sang Todd. They just didn't use it. That song is depressing as shit, but yeah, it's good. I listen to it too much, an unhealthy amount. Listening to a song like that, like an unused track for a movie, is pretty interesting because then it's like, where in the movie does it fit? So guys, that's pretty much it. That's a rundown of what I've been listening to throughout the year so far. Just kind of some songs, some albums, maybe half an album I listened to, and just what I've been enjoying in terms of music so far this year outside of the reviews when I upload them. Let me know in the comments below what you've been listening to this year, what you've been enjoying, maybe some stuff you tried out but found you didn't really like, and what you might be trying to to listen to throughout the rest of the year. Obviously, most people don't plan that, it kind of just happens. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just wanted to share some stuff I was listening to, some updated thoughts on some albums I re-listened to. But yeah, if you like this video, let me know in the comments below. I'll try to upload when I can. School's been busy and I just have some stuff going on in life in general, so I don't have a lot of time to make these videos. But if you watched to this point, thank you. Have a good day, week, night, evening, morning, wherever you are, and thank you for watching, and goodbye. I also made a Patreon if you want to support me. Only one tier, okay? It's $1 a month, and if you would like to support me and do that, you know, feel free, or don't. Yeah, you know, shit.